Saints fans, go down to the comment section. Let me know what Saints players are on your fantasy football team. Do you got Jameis? Do you got Kamara? Do you have Chris Olave? Michael Thomas? Go down. Let me know. I'm Will Scott. Welcome into Saints Now. Big show ahead. We're going to talk about some roster news, also get you guys the Week 3 injury report that just came out. Some interesting tidbits from that. Also, we're going to finish the show talking about the possibility of Jameis Winston getting bitched for Andy Dalton. Spoiler alert, the Saints should not do that. Let's begin with some Saints news. The Saints gearing up for a big game against the Panthers over in Charlotte this weekend. Obviously, coming off of that tough loss against the Buccaneers. And we begin with this news. Saints signed Yasir Durant to the practice squad. They have released Drew Desjarlais. So that is worth noting that they have signed Yasir Durant to the practice squad. Here is what he did last season, a 59.4 overall grade on the offensive line, 55.4 pass blocking grade, 57 run block grade, gave up 3 sacks last season. So he is the newest member of this Saints practice squad. The offensive line right now for the Saints, definitely a concern. They have struggled the last 2 weeks of the season. You don't have Trevor Penning active. He's on IR, so this is a depth move for the Saints, at least a practice squad depth move. As we take a look here at the updated practice squad, you got Jake Ludden, Latavius Murray, Lucas Kroll, J.P. Holtz, Yasir Durant, Josh Andrews, Kirk Merritt, Rashid Shaheed, Taco Charlton, Christian Ringo, Jordan Jackson, Eric Wilson, Afai Sewell, Trey Swilling, DeMarcus Fields, and Vincent Gray as well, all members of the Saints practice squad. If you want to welcome Durant to New Orleans, like the video, hit the thumbs up icon, got a new member of the Saints practice squad. Go down, like the video to welcome Yasir Durant to New Orleans, again, the newest member of the Saints practice squad. Let's talk about the Saints injury report. We did not see Alvin Kamara on Sunday against the Bucs. His presence was missed. The Saints offense really struggled all game. So let's take a look at the injury report here. He was a limited participant in practice today with the rib injury. Paulson Adebo also limited. Ryan Ramczyk, Traquan Smith, Taysom Hill, all limited in practice today, as well as Marcus May, Jameis Winston. He was listed on the injury report dealing with both a back and an ankle injury. In the words of Jameis himself, there's pain everywhere. Adam Prentice, the shoulder injury, he's limited. Deontay Hardy, foot injury, he's limited as well. So all those guys participated today, which is the good news. But still, a lot of guys on the Saints injury report ahead of this weekend's game against Carolina. Go down, predict the score. Do you think the Saints are going to win? If so, by how much? Let me know down in the comments section. Predict the score. It's a big game for the Saints against an 0-2 Carolina team. The Saints have to win this game. I mean, it's hard to say this early in the season, especially when they have a win under their belt, that it's a must-win, but this is a must-win for the Saints. They can't afford a loss to Carolina here, even if it's on the road. Me and producer Trace, both going with a 27-19 win for the Saints. I think it's going to be somewhat close, Miss Division rival, but ultimately the Saints get it done in the end. Jameis Winston leading the Saints to a win in Carolina. Look, I mean, as we discussed the other day in our 4 Steps video, which you can check out, the link to that video is going to be in the comments and in the description, but don't let the loss to the Bucs turn into more losses. You have to put that loss behind you, and new head coach Dennis Allen is having to face some adversity right now. It was a difficult loss to the Buccaneers where the offense really struggled, where Jameis specifically really struggled. You got to put that in the rearview mirror, focus on the task ahead. That is beating a Carolina team that you're much better than. Play smart, not hard. The Panthers are not good. This is a great opportunity for the team to go out and build some confidence. I would much rather be facing the Panthers in a bounce-back game than, let's say, the Dolphins or the Chiefs, 2-0 team. So luckily the Saints have an 0-2 team ahead of them. That being said, though, the Panthers' defense has only allowed 3 touchdowns this season and a 40% touchdown rate in the red zone. So maybe the Panthers' defense, better than a lot of people think, might be somewhat of a difficult test for Jameis and this offense. I want to see smart football, right? There's way too many turnovers in the last game. Jameis threw the ball into coverage way too many times. play smart, clean football out there, no penalties, no turnovers. And if the Saints can do that, just keep the train on the tracks, they should roll past the Carolina Panthers. I do believe that. Here's why you should subscribe to Saints Now, because we're bringing you guys daily videos around the Saints, news, previews, recaps, and more. After every Saints game, I'm going to be in here with producer Trace, getting you guys a game recap, reacting to the game, interactive content, shout-outs. We're called Chat Sports for a reason, guys. We like to hear you down in the comments section. We like to interact with our subscribers. Also, Saints videos by Saints fans. I have a lot of family ties in Louisiana. My dad, born and raised in Lafayette. Louisiana is a second home to me, and producer Trace is a diehard Saints fan, lifelong Saints fan. So, we're bringing that to you guys too. We're not a bunch of frauds like some other YouTubers we see. Here's some shout-outs to some new subscribers. We got Trendarius Thomas, Stephanie Ross, Justin Williams, Kiesel, and Big On. We appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. Welcome. We like to have a lot of fun here on Saints Now. Let's talk about this. Should the Saints bench Jameis Winston for Andy Dalton in Week 3? No, they should not do that. Before I get into more thoughts here in a second, I do want to tell you about this great deal we're giving you through BetUS. If you use promo code CHAT125 and go to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code, you're going to get a 125% deposit bonus. That means if you put $100 in, you will get $125 additional cash to bet with. I did that Week 1 of NFL football. So clutch. Great deal. Go and take advantage. Chatsports.com/bet. So I've been Andy Dalton, who signed a one-year deal with the Saints worth up to $6 million. Looked great in camp and in the preseason. If Jameis is hurt, should Dalton start at least for now? Because we saw last week, didn't look like Jameis was 100%. Here's what he's done over the last year or so. So last season, 8 games played with the Bears, 63% completion percentage, over 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns, 9 picks. In the preseason, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Andy Dalton in the Saints preseason. I mean, he's a good backup. He's not a very good starter anymore. Jameis is by far the better option. But the thinking here, if you're the Saints, is not necessarily benching Dalton or Winston for Dalton. It's letting Winston get healthy, having Dalton start this week, because this is probably a game that you can win with Andy Dalton. I cannot confidently say the Saints can go play a team like Tampa Bay with Andy Dalton, a quarterback, and win the game. But a team like Carolina, yeah, you can win this game with Andy Dalton, a quarterback. I have a lot of confidence in that. So the thinking is let Jameis get 100% healthy, start Andy Dalton in the next week or two in the meantime, because we saw last week Jameis was not 100%. But not just Jameis, the whole offense as a whole has to get better. I want to see Alvin Kamara out there, hopefully. His presence was obviously missed. Mark Ingram did a decent job filling in, 10 carries, 60 yards, and a fumble. But Alvin Kamara needs to play, because I think that takes pressure off of Jameis Winston having one of the best running backs in the league on the field. Just a final thought here. We want this team to succeed. Be smart, Dennis Allen. If you feel like Jameis is fully healthy going into this game, play Jameis. If not, think about, not saying do it, but think about maybe playing Andy Dalton this week. It's not a benching of Jameis Winston. Let's make that very clear. It's more of a get Jameis healthy and start Dalton in the meantime. Who should start? Type JW for Jameis Winston or type AD for Andy Dalton down in the comment section. Who should start this week? I'm not saying, the future franchise quarterback. It's not that deep. Just this week, who should start? I say Winston. Maybe keep the leash short if he's not looking good. If he's clearly not 100%, then maybe put Dalton in the game. If it's clear throughout the game that James is in pain, not playing well because of that pain, then at that point, maybe put Andy Dalton in. Guys, keep the good vibes rolling. Type eat that W in the chat. That's what the Saints are looking to do this weekend in Carolina. Go down and type eat that W in the comment section.